Hi, welcome to Chef Paradise Live. I'm Chef Ben. Today we're making Eton Mess, a classic British dessert made with meringue, fresh berries, and whipped cream. Here's everything you're gonna need to make this dish. We have half a liter of whipping cream. We have fresh berries that have been sitting overnight in a little bit of simple syrup made with basil. We have strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries. We have 3 eggs. We have a little bit of reserved liquid from this bowl. We have the tops from basil. We have sugar, and we have Saba vinegar. First thing you're gonna need is a 5-quart artisan. We have it with a stainless steel bowl and a balloon whisk on it. We have a sheet pan that has a silk pat on it, as well as a large spoon. Take out your eggs about 10-15 minutes ahead of time. They need to be warm for this in order to separate the best. There's many different ways that you can use to separate the egg. For this, I'm going to just wiggle it between the shell and allow the white to fall off. You can also use your hand to do this, or you can use a squeeze bottle and suck up the yolk. All right, so now that we have our egg whites, we're gonna pour them into our bowl. We're gonna put this on to about a medium speed. When whisking your eggs, you wanna get it to a stiff peak. What that means is if I lift that up, it holds its shape when I lift up the whisk. It's time to add in our sugar. I have half a cup of sugar here. You wanna make sure that your eggs have incorporated the sugar all the way through. Otherwise it can become grainy and it won't be as glossy on the top as you want it to be. The other way to check as well to make sure the sugar is fully incorporated is to lift up your whisk and rub a little bit between your fingers. If you can feel the sugar in the mix, you need to keep whisking. Check it again. That's perfect. At this stage, if you really wanted to, you could mix in a little bit of vanilla, or you could take a little bit of orange zest as well to brighten up that flavor even more. All right, now that we've made our meringue mix, it's time to put that onto our silk pat. For this, I need my stainless steel spoon. You want to make sure that they're also uniform. So you want to make sure that the spoon is large enough that you can make even portions on the silk pat. 3 eggs is going to give you about 4 equal portions of this. If you wanted to, you could also put it into a piping bag and pipe it on here. But for what we're doing today, we're going to do it with dollops onto the silk pat. The reason for that is that we're going to be breaking it apart. So having it nice and neat on the dish is not necessary. Now that they're on the silk pat, we want to put them into a preheated 300-degree oven for about an hour. Now that the meringue's in the oven, we can get onto our whipped cream. For that, we need our half a liter of whipping cream. You want to make sure your whipping cream is cold for this. For this, we're going to put it onto a high speed. And again, for this, we're looking for stiff peaks with it. That way it holds its shape, as well as it doesn't run on the plate. Now that the cream's fully whisked, we're going to incorporate 4 tablespoons of sugar. We don't want to incorporate too much sugar, as we already put sugar into our meringue, as well as there's natural sugar in our berries. Fun little trick you can do when you know it's done. You can tip it upside down over your head. If anything falls out, you know that you've needed to whisk it more. I'm going to transfer the whipping cream now into a glass bowl, and we're going to mix in a little bit of our reserved liquid from the berries. Now that our cream's in our glass bowl, we're going to take our reserved liquid. We're going to start folding in. You can add at this point as much or as little as you'd like. We had half a liter of whipping cream. I added in initially 1 tablespoon of the reserved liquid, but I want to keep adding a little bit more just to make sure that I get that bright color. It's okay at this point if the reserved liquid isn't fully incorporated, because you get a nice ripple through the whipped cream. Now that our whipped cream is fully whipped, we're going to check on our meringue. Our meringue has been in for about an hour at this point. We hear that nice crisp texture on the outside, and it comes off the silk pat very easily, so that way we know it's done. We'll move everything just over here so that we can work a lot easier. Next, we're going to take a little bit of our Saba vinegar and incorporate it into our berry mixture. Saba vinegar is a pre-balsamic vinegar, so it has a very caramelized, great flavor to it, and is available at our Chef's Pantry Paradise. We're going to incorporate about a teaspoon into our mixture. And at this point, you can keep folding it in just so that it incorporates nicely. And now for our favorite part, cracking into our meringues. Once they're cool, you can break them apart very easily. And it's okay to have different sizes of pieces for this, because we want to be able to build and layer this into our bowl. Now it's plating time. I've chosen a bowl for this so that it helps with the layering of it and we get that height in our dish. So we're gonna start taking a couple pieces of our meringue. We're gonna take a dollop here of our cream, and then we're gonna keep coming back and layering just like that. Now that we've layered a couple of layers here, I'm gonna come in with our strawberry and berry mixture. And again, I'm gonna wanna come back with a little bit more whipped cream. Again, we're building those layers here. Now that we're getting near the top, this is time to break into smaller pieces. We'll finish with a little bit more of the whipped cream, and again with a little bit more of our berry mixture. Now that we have our desired height, we're gonna garnish with a little bit of the centers of basil leaves. And here you have it, Eton's Mess made with compressed berries and whipped cream. Thanks for joining us on Chef's Paradise Live.